Hi, I'm Tyler, and I'm here to let you know that the 2017 adaptation of Ghost in the Shell is No Perfect Movie. So, in this version of Ghost in the Shell, we see the Major, played by Scarlett Johansson, and her Task Force Section 9 hunting down a cyber terrorist who calls himself Kuze, played by Michael Pitt. But the more she delves into the investigation, the more she begins to question her identity and how her origins as a cyborg really happened. I was a little skeptical about Rupert Sanders directing this movie, seeing as how his only movie before this was Snow White and the Huntsman. Wow. But thankfully, Sanders creates a visually gorgeous atmosphere full of stunning visuals that stay true to the original film's tone and symbolic themes. The cybernetic enhancements ranging from Bato's eyes or the Major's cloaking are portrayed with top-notch visual effects and practical prosthetics that look real in their designs and textures. The action sequences are portrayed in steady wide shots, in mostly real sets and locations, using slow-mo in some shots in order to enhance the feel of each punch, and the actors all performing their own stunts. I'm just gonna go out and say it. In my opinion, for this character, I think Scarlett Johansson was a good choice to portray the Major. It is true that some of her lines and expressions sometimes feel a little bit emotionless and, for lack of a better word, robotic sometimes, but I honestly think that actually works to her advantage. The Major feels as if she's been programmed to fight crime and doesn't really feel like she chose to be in Section 9. And because she doesn't really remember much of her past, she doesn't have a motivation to fight crime or really to feel emotional for. But when she does start to piece together how she was created and she starts to remember little things about her past, she does act more angry and scared when facing other people who she's not sure if they're her allies or not, and Johansson does an excellent job, in my opinion, of portraying that. The actor who plays Bato, I'm not even going to try to mispronounce his name, was equally hilarious and badass throughout the entire runtime, and I liked how he and the Major have a relationship where they each tease each other all the time, but they also confide in each other about their enhancements and how it affects them as humans. And Michael Pitt was surprisingly pretty creepy as Kuze. He spends the first half of the movie with his face covered by shadows, and it makes him feel a lot more mysterious because you don't know what he looks like, how enhanced he is, and when he's first revealed, which is about halfway into the movie, his appearance does make him look very intimidating, and his motivation makes sense and is understandable. Yes, he is using technology to murder several different people, and the movie doesn't hide that, but he's also trying to uncover pieces about his past that he doesn't remember, and you can kind of see the parallels between him and the Major, where the company that created both of them has screwed them in severe, drastic ways. But what really surprised me the most about the film was the attention to detail and the themes and symbolism of how having a body made entirely of machinery can make someone question their humanity. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is the Major physically touching someone just to experience feeling a person who is 100% normal, no enhancements whatsoever. And we get to see how that person, who was pretending to be enhanced beforehand, feels by being embraced for the fact that she has no enhancements, she's just a normal human being. And there's a lot of symbolic images of people underwater feeling as if they're being suppressed by their enhancements, and then they swim up to the surface in order to take control of their bodies. There's even clever scenes that pay homage to Mamoru Oshii by featuring characters feeding or having basset hounds as pets, and I really like that Easter egg. I thought it was pretty clever. Since this film does have a similar structure and does recreate several scenes from the original film, it does suffer from the same flaws that the original film had. For starters, there are several scenes that are dedicated to technobabble, which, let's be honest, even in the first film, you don't really give a shit about some of those scenes. Also, aside from Bato and Daisuke, who is played very well by an actor who, once again, his name I won't try to mispronounce, the other members of Section 9 have little to no character depth whatsoever. You don't learn anything about Togusa, you learn nothing about Saito, and you don't get a sense of how their enhancements affect them as people. But then again, I don't really remember them having much of a screen presence in the original film either. I only really remember them from Standalone Complex, and if I'm being completely honest, I don't really even like Standalone Complex. And the other issue I had with both films is that the third act, while still having good action and strong character moments, it doesn't feel exciting as the first two-thirds of the film. And I get the feeling that in both cases, it doesn't feel as tense because it is still mostly centered around the Major, and the side cast aren't really given much closure, finality, or really even that many moments to feel excited for. This adaptation of Ghost in the Shell is, for me anyways, an indicator that anime can be adapted faithfully with a lot of artistic skill for an American audience. I love the visuals, the action scenes, Scarlett Johansson as the Major, the guy who plays Bato. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of the Section 9 members, but I'm more than satisfied with what I got, and for that reason, I'm going to give Ghost in the Shell a 4.5 out of 5. Guys, thanks as always for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, check out my other reviews at NoPerfectMovie.com. And once again, thank you all very much for watching. Take care.